Good evening to everyone who is listening to Peach Radio Wave tonight. This is Halina Wirt, and today we'll be having a very interesting talk on fisheries. For this, we have invited a very well-known expert in this field, Laura Mulders from Belgium, who will try to introduce us into this interesting field. Good evening, Laura.
Dear listeners, today I'll be talking to you about fishing. Fishing is an ancient practice that dates back to at least 40,000 years ago. During this period, most people lived a hunter-gatherer lifestyle and were, of necessity, constantly on the move. However, where there are early examples of permanent settlements, such as those in Lepenski Ver, they are almost always associated with fishing as a major source of food. Today, the fishing industry employs some 35 million people worldwide, including an estimated 27 million people who work in capture fishing. The vast majority live in developing countries, with the rest divided among fish exporting countries in North America, Europe, and the former Soviet Union. The Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that the global fishing fleet consists of about 1.3 million decked vessels and 2.8 million undecked vessels, 65% of which have no mechanical propulsion system. It's a huge industry that is important for all of us, and losing it will be a disaster. Still, we aren't doing a lot to stop overfishing and the destruction of ecosystems. I'm here to give you some inside information on this complicated topic.
Thank you. That is actually very interesting, and I think that we are ready to have a first phone call. We are listening to you.
It's Aureliano from Italy. I'd like to know, what does the expert think about some kinds of fishing that are damaging the environment, such as trolling? Thanks.
Good evening. Well, uncontrolled fishing, just like trolling, can strongly affect marine wildlife and ecosystem. It basically consists of dragging a trolling net on the bottom of the sea, destroying plants, corals, and fishing species whose capture is forbidden. It really has a strong impact on ecosystems, and that's an issue we have to face.
Thank you, and we are ready for our next question.
Hello, I'm Iris Cusack. I'm taking part of EIP internal session in Laax, and I wanted to ask you on what the subsidies and tax reduction for the fisheries in Europe are depending on.
In fact, financial supports for fisheries depend on a lot of actors. First, European fisher can hope on subsidies from the European Marine and Fishery Fund between 2014 and 2020. 89% of this money is shared between the different member states depending on the size of the maritime activity. Only for growth of sustainable development, the fund shares 4 billion euros between the member states. Then it's up to the states to distribute the money in different projects, which should be sustainable, creative, or promoting research or employment. The different European member states can also propose their help to their fisher with tax breaks, for example, or the subvention of products. The most important point on the subsidies is that they shouldn't have to aim to create the fishermen's income, but help them to improve their way of fishing to become sustainable for environment and for the market. This is why the World Trade Organization tries to vote some subsidies regulations which should avoid financial help on fuel for the vessels or other non-sustainable products.
Thank you, Laura. I think we have a couple of more questions, and we have one now. Please speak, you are in the program.
Good evening, I'm Yunus and I'm calling from Turkey. I'm curious as to what unsustainable fishing methods are being practiced today.
We really have people from all over Europe. It's amazing to see how many people are interested in this topic. So, to answer your question, the most prominent method practiced widely is ranching, where juvenile fish are caught, raised in captivity, and sold before they can mature or reproduce. Another method would be longline fishing, which is basically fishing with hundreds of fish hooks at the same time. This can result in tons of bycatch and meaningless death of animals such as turtles and even seagulls.
Thank you. And we have another question.
Hey, Stockholm calling. I'm Cornelia Garnmark, and I would like to thank you for this lovely program, which discusses a very important subject which concerns us all. And I have a question regarding the open access, which is when the amount of fishers is unlimited and that we all share the same stock of fish. So, are there any problems with this system? Thank you and goodbye.
Yes, of course, there are several serious ones. All fisheries are racing so hard to take as much as they can. But big-scale fishery can only work if there are enough fish, so we still need fish to reproduce. But if one fisherman would do that and just leave one bunch of fish behind, somebody else would just come and take the share that the first one wanted to save. So it's a very complicated system.
Thank you. We have another interested listener. Please speak.
Good evening, everyone. This is Emil from Azerbaijan. And now my question. What was the percentage of the unreported catches of cod in the Eastern Baltic Sea in 2005? Thank you.
Well, that's a very specific question. In 2005, it was estimated that the true catch of cod in the Eastern Baltic Sea was more than 38% above the officially recorded landings. These are catches that were not reported to the authorities and hence are missing from the official landing statistics.
Thank you. And we have another phone call.
My name is Kira and I'm from Germany. And I've heard that some people are considering introducing transferable catch shares, similar to the carbon credits in cap and trade. And I'd like to hear your opinion on them.
These so-called transferable fishing concessions are being discussed a lot. They have a great potential, but we must be aware of their allocation use, and trade would have to be monitored strictly. Also, they can be harmful for smaller fisheries.
Thank you. I see that many people are actually interested in the topic. We have another call.
Hello, my name is Dasha. I want to know whether the existing measures have been effective. Greetings from Slovenia.
Most of them have contributed to positive progress. However, there is still a lot of room for improvement, especially when it comes to cooperation between member states and the overall management of fishing.
Thank you, and we are ready for our last phone call for today.
Hi, I'm Flora and I'm from the UK, and my question is, what are the problems of overfishing on marine ecosystems?
The fish are not able to reproduce as quickly as they are being fished. Whilst this leads to a short-term increase in the amount catched, it destabilizes the marine ecosystems and ultimately reduces the long-term profits of fishing.
Thank you, Laura. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time for questions. Thank you for joining us for such an interesting talk.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be a part of this program and to educate you about this very difficult topic. I hope you learned something, and good evening to you all.
Dear listeners, thank you for being with us for the Fish Talk. This was Halina Virt and Peach Radio. Enjoy the rest of the day and our next song, We Are the World.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. much on us by turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the one to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, and there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe